Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Today in LA. I'm Forrest Lee. This is Bill Rice Jr. And on the phone we have Mike Amos calling in from Panama City Beach. Today is the 18th day of June on a Friday. Good morning, Mike. How are we doing?
Good morning, and good morning to all you folks over there waiting for the sun to rise. I am here at the beautiful, beautiful Florida coast.
Well,
looking forward to it all day long.
Yeah, today's National Fishing Day, and of course, tomorrow at Clay Hill Farms, there will be the Pike County Kids Fishing Day. It's sponsored and hosted by the Alabama Conservation Enforcement Officers Association, the Alabama Wildlife and Freshwater Fisheries Division, and Walmart's going to provide lunch. This event is partially funded by the Federal Sport Fish Restoration Program. And to get to Clay Hill Farms from Banks, if you pass Banks by right, I think it's your first or second road to the right, there'll be signs out. But it's on the farm or the Darrells. I think they've been having it for about 15, 16, 17 years out there. Is it Mr. John Darrell?
I don't know.
That started it. And,
what a man, what a man.
And, Mr. Jen Wright, Officer Jen Wright, he's been involved with it for so many years. And they're going to have different categories. You get prizes, the kids will, based upon your number of fish that you catch, and the largest string, and maybe the biggest fish.
I'd be excited for those. Over the years, you guys have gone fishing, but a lot of people are afraid to take a hook out of a catfish. Catfish will wear you out.
You got to know how to do it, and you got to come in from behind and put your thumb and your middle index finger like an L shape. Steve's showing me, and get behind those. What do you call it? Gills?
Whiskers.
Whiskers.
Yeah, I have never taken the hook out of a cat. I have never caught a catfish.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
and I'll tell you what, I do not like catfish.
They kind of make that grunting sound too.
I don't want to eat it. I know people love it, and they either love it or hate it, I guess.
You ever scaled a fish?
We talk about city boys.
I think I have scaled one. Okay. I used to help Dad when he was cleaning them, and I would do some of the scaling, but I have never cleaned a fish because my brother and Dad always did it for us, so I didn't have to.
We used to nail the catfish on the telephone pole, or hook him on there, and then would cut around. And you had to scale the cat. You got to scale the catfish. Skin the catfish.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There was we had a lake, when my mom and dad had a place at Lake Martin, there was a catfish restaurant right up the road from their lake house, and man, it was popular. So
there's a nice catfish place in Thomaston, Georgia. It's called River Bend. It's on the Flint River. You can see the Flint River from atop the cliffs, but it is a sensational place. I found that. It's in Upson County.
Was it all you could eat?
You do that.
Yeah,
and that's usually what Jody's daddy and I got.
I haven't even had much fish in the last 40 years, Mike and Forrest, but when I was young, we had it all the time. Because Mom and Dad would go to Colley Pond and Union Springs, and so we had a lot of bass and brim, and they would catch them, and then they would bring them home, and usually we would bring them home and eat them at my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
But that, I don't know why I don't do it, because that was really, really good eating.
Now, let me just tell you this: if you caught that fish out of Colley's Pond, I do not believe there was a better brim fishing pond in the world than Colley's Pond. Where you flip that cork just underneath those overlying bushes.
Yeah.
Boy, you hear it. You could hear it say zip, zip. They were big old bull brim.
They were.
Well, I grew up in Crenshaw County, and a shout out to Lifford Nichols' family. He's passed away, but right down the road there was a pond called Lifford Nichols Pond, and I would walk to it and fish, or when I got a bike, when I was about 12 or 13, I'd take my bike down there. But just a peaceful time. And one morning, one afternoon, the fish weren't biting, and I had my dog beside me. Mutt was his name.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, Mutt, I just picked my dog up, and he went for a swim. I just tossed him out there, and he swam back to shore. And so we played around doing that. He loved it. And,
Well, I got some dog story about Collie Ponds. We had a little peekaboo that looked like a little miniature sheepdog, with black and white coloring, Muffin, when I was a kid. And Muffin was kind of a pill and very spoiled, and but a sweet dog. Anyway, we're at the pond one time, and instead of going out in the boat, we walked down past Mr. Lunsford and Chase Riddle's place all the way to the end to a little point that we can fish off the land. Well, the grass is real high there. It comes up to about our knees or up to way over our ankles where we're fishing. And all of a sudden, I think it's Rush, me, and Bobby, and all of a sudden I hear Muffin growling. I look down there. Muffin has a water moccasin in her mouth and bites the darn thing in half.
Oh gosh! Oh gosh!
Little Muffin, this indoor domestic dog, probably, for all we know, saved our lives.
But I'll tell you this: if you wanted to see a water moccasin, that was a good pond to see one in. I used to see a lot of snakes up there when I went up with my aunt Emma Lou Renfro.
Yeah, that's right. They had a place up there. That's right.
let me change the.
Shorty Renfro.
Mm-hmm. That's where I was right near their trailer when I Muffin bit the moccasin in half. I say it's a moccasin. That it makes the story better than say it was a moccasin. It might have been some other snake, but
We're getting a new Dollar General. I saw it on Facebook that it has not been. It hasn't been verified. I saw a post on Facebook. But it's as you come into Troy on Trojan Terrace, it's right there across from the old.
I saw they sold that land.
Yeah,
there you go.
A Dollar General right there as you enter Troy. That's where the archway should be to Troy University.
Dollar General.
Dollar General's going in
Across
right
from
there.
the old movie theater. Yeah. Well, Dollar General's taken over the world.
I've always wondered why somebody didn't buy that piece of property, and I think Earl Ellis sold that property, and he might have owned it, but
well, they need
right there in that point is going to be a Dollar General.
Yeah,
That's a great piece of land.
Well, they can't keep the ones that got clean. That's the thing I will say. You can't.
Yeah,
go in
well, that
there.
must be their business model. They don't spend hardly any money on help. That's why they can save you some money on their merchandise.
Well,
but yeah,
I'll tell you something else about it. I'll tell you, the one on North 39th Street might be the largest in the company. I don't know. Have you ever seen a bigger?
Oh yeah.
Dollar General?
Yeah, they got different models. Some of them have more food and but it's a big one. But
Yeah.
man, and
Is my boy up yet? Is my boy up?
Hey,
yet?
Michael.
Yeah, I'm on this morning. I always tell my wife, what would happen if we, had to get by a whole week as far as buying food from Dollar General.
Yeah.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to see if we can pull that off, because I buy
Tuna.
bacon, and I buy the ground sausage, I buy milk. I buy a lot of stuff from Dollar General. There's a bunch of them down here, too.
Yeah. Tell us about the shark attack.
Well, I mean, it was in Great State Park, which is, on both sides of where I am here in Great Beach. So it was just apparently a young kid of 14, about 40 yards out, and I think he made a mistake. He was like near somebody's fishing line that was out there trying to catch some fish, and apparently the shark bit him and then immediately released him. Realized it was a human and not another fish. So, but I mean, there's sharks all over Great Beach. My wife and my girls, we see them all the time. I mean, I saw 5 in 2 days.
Well, hey, let me tell you this. You don't need to be swimming with my little girls with that shark out there. I want you to take her in and leave them alone.
That means
I
you
do
can't be
take them. I take them in, and you know what? I yell at people on the beach, shark, and tell them to get out of the water. We had one come to the left of us the other day, and I just randomly heard a conversation, about 40 yards down the beach, like saying, "Oh, there's a shark." And of course, I heard it and grabbed my girls, got them out of the water, and then I yelled at those people down the beach.
Of course,
said, "Hey,
it's not good for tourism. It's not good for tourism. You
well,
remember
I yelled at people. I yelled at the people down the beach, and I said, "Hey, how about a heads up next time?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you need.
You gotta kind of care about your fellow man and women and families when you're on the beach and see a shark.
It said that the
I'm
South
scanning
Walton.
the beach right now. I'm scanning the beach as we speak right now, and it's a rough beach and rough water right now. But everything seems good on our end. But I've never seen one out there on this end of the beach.
They said
Well,
that
yeah, they have charter boats to go out every day. I don't know if they chum the water. I don't know if they throw their bait fish out. I don't know what they do, but Graton's also got some natural reefs and some artificial reefs that sharks tend to be around a lot. I mean, it's just part of life, part of living down here.
they said the South Walton Fire Department launched a drone, searching for sharks and didn't see any. So I guess they drone hunt for them.
I still remember that drone footage we put on Troy Cable a year ago. Somebody who had a drone footage of a ton of sharks out in the beach.
Yeah, I mean, mostly what you get down here is blacktip, which can be aggressive, and then you also have to deal with the occasional bull shark, and that's really the one you don't want to have to deal with. That's the most dangerous of them all.
We talk a lot about great movies. It was a blockbuster, and everybody's seen it. But I still think Jaws does not get enough credit. That is a great, great movie.
One of my favorite scenes is when they're sharing war stories and all that kind of stuff, and the sea captain makes his point and he crushes a beer can, and Richard Dreyfuss makes his point and he crushes his styrofoam cup.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a lot of people watched that movie over the years, and
well, it's the shark, but you rarely even see the shark. The characters are great, and the dialogue is like Forrest said.
who's the star of that show?
Richard Dreyfuss, and who's the old gruff sea captain?
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw.
And then Roy Scheider, who looks like my Uncle Bobby, I always thought was Chief
I
Brody.
remember that was rough. That first
Who was the
was
mayor
really
or the
good.
police chief? He's
Roy
always.
And
Scheider.
then the police chief was who? Who was the police chief?
I think his name is Roy Scheider, or is
Or the
actor.
mayor, or the mayor of the tourism guy.
Yeah.
Name.
Then the mayor, I mean, that's the plot line is, the mayor wants to keep the town open for the big 4th of July weekend. And everybody.
That's right. Yeah.
And the Chief Brody
That
says,
way-
no, we need to close we got to close these beaches. And so they and they talk him out of not closing the beaches, and then he's out there on the beach, and what's he do? He watches some little child get eaten by a shark on the float.
Yeah. Murray Hamilton was the mayor, I believe.
He was real good. The wife was good. Chief Brody's wife was real good.
Lorraine Gary.
But y'all still haven't
Maureen
thrown
Gary?
out the name of the main character.
Well, it was yes, his
Roy
name
Snyder and Richard Dreyfuss.
Roy Scheider.
and Robert
Right,
Shaw.
I remember, but there was another guy on down the line. There was another guy.
Well,
Yeah.
Robert Shaw, that was in The Sting and a lot of movies, was Quinn, the charter boat captain. Richard Dreyfuss was the oceanographer. Then
Oh yeah.
the mayor and his wife. I understand that the wife that played the lady that played Chief Brody's wife was actually the wife of a big studio executive in Hollywood. So there were, complaints about why did she get this part? Just because she's the wife of some big Warner Brothers executive.
Yeah.
But she was actually great in the part.
Plus, there's a storm brewing in the Gulf.
Want to mention a couple of openings soon. You talk about Dollar General on the bypass in Troy, on northern bypass. There's also a Church's Fried Chicken will be open very soon, and also McAllister's. Y'all familiar with McAllister's?
Yes, sir. There was a kid that was playing golf the other day who's going to be one of the managers, and they're sending him to Mississippi for about a 6-week training.
Mm-hmm.
And the district guy, he said the district organizer or manager is expecting to hire between 40 and 45 people to help run that McAllister's.
So that's going to be a big thing.
It's like a soup and salad, baked potato place. They do cookies, brownies, legendary sweet tea.
Legendary sweet.
Hey, Michael, did you read the story on Big Coach story Mike Dodd did on CBS.com about Coach Saban and his reclamation projects to rehabilitate all these coaches who have been fired that he later hires as analysts?
Yeah, I read a little bit of that. I didn't read it all. I was kind of in and out and watching the U.S. Open and listening to the U.S. Open.
Well, it's long-form journalism. That's a long story that goes into depth and interviews a lot of people. I'd highly recommend it. They link to it on AL.com, and it's a 23-minute read. And so the author is talking about people like Butch Jones that was fired, came back,
Sarkisian.
Napier, Sarkisian. You got them. I mean, the list. There are 13.
Lane Kiffin's the biggest.
Lane Kiffin. There's 13 of them that have been at Loeb, fired, came to Alabama, and wash, rinse, go back into the world. Is good or better than they've ever been. But really good journalism.
When some of these guys take an analyst job, I mean, that's pretty much like being a glorified GA all over again.
Yeah, that's what some of them were, literally graduate assistants. These are people that were head coaches or offensive coordinators that were making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Then they make $29,000 at Alabama. Right now, Alabama has not one but two former NFL head coaches on the same staff as assistant college coaches.
Is that Bill O'Brien, and is that one of them?
Doug
Yeah.
Marone.
Yes, two. These guys a year ago were leading NFL teams, and now they're flunkies working for Nick Saban. Amazing.
Yeah, I think they both coached together at Georgia Tech under Ken Gailey.
Really?
I think you're right. And they were good friends and met through their wives or something. I remember reading a story.
Well, if they were
about that.
around Chan Gailey,
Ken Gailey's one of the most respected coaches of all time. If you hear people ever talk about him.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
Well, Alabama and Auburn had some preseason All-American selections on the Walter Camp part of college football. Evan Neal, the offensive lineman from Alabama, first team. Also Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama as a linebacker. Second team, defense, Josh Jobe, Alabama. And second team offense, Anders Carlson, the place kicker from Auburn. Didn't see any Sun Belt players on the team. I think LSU's got like 4. Georgia's got like 4 on the first and second team. And Auburn has picked up, was one of the players they picked up as the junior college defensive player of the year.
Oh my God.
Rotarius Torrance, he's from Bessemer, but he led the Blue Dragons there. What team is that? The junior college that's so good? Hutchinson College, I believe, won the national
So he's
championship.
not coming this year.
Yeah,
He'll come next.
he'll be here He'll be here
in August,
He'll
practicing.
be here this August. And Auburn also is going to play a home series against Miami, starting in 2029 away, and then they'll play in Auburn in 2030.
You hear that?
Early in the year, open up the season.
So we just got to make it 9 more years, and we can watch Auburn and Miami on the plains. I hope I make it. I hope I'm here.
Yeah, I noticed that there's a guy that looks like he spent the night on the beach last night. He's got his pen up, but that's fine. That's against the law.
Well, you're supposed to be off the beaches at night, but I mean, I'm sure a lot of people kind of get away with it. There's also a chance. It's also a chance the tractor that comes and smooths out the beaches every night might run over you, I guess.
Well, I see a girl with a yellow bikini on, with a yellow bathing suit on from here.
Hey, what are you doing down there? Does Carol know what you're doing?
Beautiful.
We can't hear you,
You
Mike.
guys are, you got your binoculars out. You sound like you're on speakerphone.
You're way away from the phone. We can't pick you up.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Mike. You have to get closer to the phone or something.
Yeah, I'm moving back in now. But I'm also Mike.
So what's the fishing game report today? What are they catching out there?
I don't know. Usually you see some. I've seen one fisherman right now. But it's a beautiful.
Did y'all watch
day.
Did y'all watch any of the Open yesterday?
No.
I didn't. I was on the road.
I'm busy. I'm busy working on the big story. I've checked the leaderboard, because I got a little interest in some of these players, and so. But all I know is
Well,
some of my bets are not looking too good, but a couple of them are still alive.
yeah. Russell Henley, one of the co-leaders, was born in Macon,
Played
Georgia. Yeah, played at Georgia, went to Stratford Academy, and when he was in college, he won the Haskins Award in 2010, and his wife is from Columbus, Georgia, and she went to Auburn. I read that.
What's the Haskin Award for the?
That's the top golfer in college golf.
And he did
Played
that
a
in 2010.
Heisman Trophy for a golfer.
Right, Haskins.
So he's young. He's real young.
He's won 5-6 times on the tour.
Ooh, I got
I told you your name yesterday. I always look for Louis Oosthuizen's 4 under. And still got 2 holes to play in the first round.
I know. Yeah.
I was kicking myself after you told me that for not putting $10 on him because you sounded pretty confident, and dang if he's leading
In
the
the
tournament.
mix.
But
And then my pick Xander Schauffele is also 2 under, so he's only 2 back. So I'm liking what I picked.
Well, you should have put $10 on these guys.
But wouldn't you hate to be a golfer that has to get up early and finish his round, and then wait all day long before you tee off again?
Mm-hmm.
Old DeChambeau still
It depends when you went out.
hitting.
Well, Usain.
So Usain went out in the afternoon. That means he'll tee off first this morning.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
We'll go first this morning.
Yeah, that's the way it works. You go out in the afternoon, you go out first thing in the morning. Like Mickelson went out early in the morning, he'll go out in the afternoon.
What did Mickelson shoot? 2 under? What is Mickelson?
He was awful. He's +4 and missed several putts, and he'll have to get down to probably, I would say the cut line's gonna be a +3, so he needs to at least be 1 under today.
Said that
For you coffee drinkers out there, they say that a new coffee place is going up out there on the bypass. That's another new business.
Wow. So let's recap for everybody what we said. We got a Dollar General across from the old movie theater. Still saddens me that Troy does not have a movie theater, but that's on the side.
Yeah, we need.
We're getting a new chicken place where Crow's Chicken used to be.
Churches.
We're getting a
Yeah,
McAllister.
that's
All right, I'm fired up.
Then
Fired up,
McAllister.
Trojans.
Where is
What did you
McAllister
say
going?
about McAllister? What did you say about McAllister's Mike?
No, I thought y'all told me that there was a restaurant called McAllister's coming to Troy.
it is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's right there across
Already.
from the
And,
hospital.
Mike, what did you say about it? They're going to hire 40 people?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, there was a golfer playing golf this last week who's going to be a manager. They're sending him to Mississippi, and he said the district coordinator expects to hire between 40 and 45 employees at McAllister's, and I'm sure they'll be part-time.
Fantastic.
And most of those will be part-time, so they don't have to pay
I hope I do well.
all that. You're be hard to find to keep them. A lot of them are still having trouble.
What did you say again? What does that mean now? It's just more part-time people?
My guess, when you bring in a business like that, you're not going to hire 40 full-time employees. They're going to have probably a 15 to 20-hour schedule based upon their college schedule or their high school schedule or whatever the case may be. But that company can't hire 40 full-time employees and pay Social Security and health insurance and all that,
Oh, yeah.
so they'll be mostly part-time.
I think they also have incentives. When you have full-time workers, you have more regulations that you've got to comply with. And so I think I've read that. So if you can keep your people under 30 hours a week, you get less hassle from the government and the tax man. So yeah, I bet you're absolutely right. A lot of these restaurants, probably the majority of the people, or a good percentage, are not full time.
Well, one thing where
all I've heard, I know they have the big one in Auburn, Mike, for years. I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at their menu. The McAllister Club. You got the Grilled Chicken Club, Orange Cranberry Club, Black Angus Club. You got wraps. If you like wraps, and they have sandwiches, ham and cheese melts, sport cheese melts, chicken salad sandwiches, grilled chicken sandwiches. My favorite thing to get at McAllister's is the French dip. You guys like French dips?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Let
like
me
it.
ask you a question.
Then they have
There's a lot of
steamed broccoli, potato salad, mac and cheese, fruit, all kinds of different sides.
What are they going to have to drink, Mike?
Great sweet tea, I know that.
Is that real good?
Yeah, they're known for their soups too. They'll have different soups. They have chili, Dad. You'll like chili.
Yeah. Do they happen to BWER?
BWER.
Do they
Beer, wine,
No, this is just a
family.
soup. This is like a soup and sandwich place.
Yeah. Okay.
No soup for you.
Here's the McAllister's story. At McAllister's, our sandwiches are piled high. Our tea is famous. Our salad soups and giant spuds are packed with fresh and flavorful ingredients. Find a new favorite or try a classic. All handcrafted just for you.
You know what? All I care about is if they protect the environment. I just want my businesses to be green friendly.
Yeah. But they say the big guy's been looking, Mike. They say the big guy has been looking. I'd like to see him come.
The big guy.
You talking about Jimmy Rain?
Big guy is.
Bob
You
Howard.
talking about the guy?
Oh, Bob Baumhauer. Bob
The little
Baumhauer.
yellow tag? Believe me, you don't want it. Are you on it?
No, and I'm talking about the big guy is looking at Troy. Have you heard that? The big guy.
He's talking about Bob Baumhauer, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. You got to call him the big guy. He's a huge guy.
He
Former
is.
University of Alabama tackle. It's also Miami Dolphins tackle.
He was a nose guard for the Miami Dolphins for about
Yeah.
9 years.
You know, there's one
But
place.
he has famous restaurants in Tuscaloosa, doesn't he, Mike?
That's where he got started.
You've got Baumhauer's Victory Grill, and then you've got just Baumhauer's Wings.
But you know, there's one in Montgomery that was on Eastern Boulevard. I think it's closed. He's got one downtown in one of those buildings that, man, it's really good. But when I go, I don't really see it's a weird location, so I don't see a lot of people.
He'll have a bar and beer there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I want to tell you a Baumhauer story. His first restaurant was a little sandwich shop on the Strip, right near Galette's, right across from the Sigma Newhouse. So I ate there many a late night, and it was just a restaurant that was like a little Subway restaurant. There would be one person working there to get your sandwich, wings, and it was kind of a wings and things. Bob Baumhauer's Wings. But
Yeah.
I think of all that, and he had that while he was still a player for the Dolphins. You know, he didn't manage it, but that was his first entree into the restaurant business.
Yeah, there's been a post that
Well, they say over the years he's been real, of course, college football supporter, and yeah, I would think he'd be that way toward Troy.
You know, his nephew, as far as I know, Michael might know this, might be playing linebacker for Troy. He walked on at Alabama, but then he transferred last year to Troy. I don't know if he's.
What is his name?
He's still on the roster.
What's his name?
I think his last name is Baumhauer.
I think his name's Wes Baumhauer.
He was
Okay.
a real good high school player down